14 seconds. That's how long it takes this velvet-wrapped sledgehammer to rip through the quarter mile, while you're still stirring sugar into your coffee. No other US car in 1970 could trade paint with a Chevelle on Saturday night and still look respectable beside a country club valet. Meet the Monte Carlo SS 454, the muscle car that wore cufflinks and brass knuckles in the same breath. 1970 was weird. A Chevelle SS was glorious, noisy, and let's face it, looked like it lived on beer and bar fights. The Impala? Great for hauling toddlers, terrible at stoplights. Chevy spotted the hole in the middle, stretched the A-body, give it a 116-inch wheelbase, and call it the A-Special platform. This created a car with the longest hood in Chevrolet history, designed to evoke the presence of a classic Cadillac, and slide the nastiest 454 between the frame rails. Respectable sheet metal up top, 500 pound-feet of torque underneath. The plan? Let buyers shake hands without breaking knuckles. Park next to a Chevelle, and the Monte looks overdressed on purpose. That hood is 6 feet long, enough real estate for its own zip code. Chrome is there, but it's subtle. Slim bumpers, tiny SS 454 badges you'll miss if you blink, and a hidden fuel filler behind the left tail light so the flanks stay liquid smooth. The roofline is formal, almost British, but those 15x7 rally wheels wrapped in G7015's whisper mischief. This isn't the car that screams, it's the one that murmurs, "You sure you wanna run?" Twist the key. The big block clears its throat with the deep, mellow rumble of a jazz bassist warming up. At a 1,800 RPM cruise, the tachometer is barely awake and the cabin is quieter than some modern luxury cars, thanks to 40 pounds of extra sound deadening. But stomp the accelerator and the carburetor's secondaries bark open. The standard 3.31 Posey traction rear end digs in, and 60 miles per hour arrives in just over 7 seconds. Shocking performance for something the size of a studio apartment. The magic is in the mid-range. A 40 to 70 miles per hour blast feels less like acceleration and more like teleportation, accompanied by a V8 bass line that makes dogs 2 blocks over lift their ears. That long wheelbase soaks up frost heaves and expansion joints, while the F41 suspension keeps body roll on a surprisingly short leash. The result is a unique duality. You could hammer it from Chicago to Union Grove for a day at the drags, then glide into the opera parking lot later that night like nothing ever happened. Chevrolet only built 3,823 Monte Carlo SS 454s in 1970, a mere fraction of the nearly 54,000 Chevelle SS models produced that year. The SS package made up less than 3% of total Monte Carlo sales. When you factor in options, the numbers become even more startling. Finding a loaded SS 454 today makes it rarer than many celebrated Copo Camaros, yet it's still significantly more affordable than a date with a Hemi Cuda. That long hood, short deck profile also made it a natural for the high banks of NASCAR. While the model's biggest racing successes came later, its aerodynamic shape quickly gained favor, proving on Sunday that this car could play rough, helping it sell suits on Monday. Underrated? Absolutely. And that's precisely why it's so desirable. The 1970 Monte Carlo SS 454 is the definitive muscle car for grown-ups. For people who've outgrown mullets but not the primal urge for a burnout, it will roast the tires, snap necks on the shift, and still let you hear the subtleties of the 8-track stereo. It's the perfect, elusive sweet spot between the brashness of a pure muscle car and the comfort of a personal luxury cruiser. Congratulations, you just found it. Drop a comment below. Would you take the Monte's sophisticated tuxedo, or would you stick with the Chevelle's bare knuckle approach? And be sure to subscribe. We have more stories coming from the cars that never got the full credit they deserved.